Kemper Profiler Tones and Talks. Hello, everybody. It's pretty hot here in Germany. It's summer, and we're trying to keep ourselves together. And here's also Mr. Thomas Dill. How are you? How is it in your area?
It's hot.
It's hot.
Really hot, but air condition is working and no tube amps are turned on, only profiler. So I'm doing fine today.
All right, wonderful. Yeah, and it's still kind of early, so the sun hasn't hit the windows here. So we're trying to be quick before we get before we melt away. So last episode we we're celebrating the differences between various guitars used with basically the same amp tone, and what that does for us. And following up on this, today we would like to focus on how can various guitars sound the same with a certain amp. The scenario is, you own a Les Paul, and you own a Tele, and you're playing the gig, and something happens with the Les Paul, something mundane. Two strings break in the same moment, and you don't want to do it immediately, and you don't have a guitar tech, so you grab your Tele, because it's the last two songs anyways, and you don't want to, and you can't make everything different. So what options would there be to have a second version of your profile, your rig you would like to play, that makes your Tele come as close as possible to the Les Paul? So Thomas, you looked into the various options that are there, and you will share with us what your approach is.
Yes, I thought about having some kind of tool that I can kick in, so that I don't need to change the amp profile or the effects or something else. It should be some modifying module that can create, let's say, a Les Paul sound out of my Tele and vice versa. And the tool is an EQ, and I have prepared 3 different setups, 3 different sounds, classic guitar tones, 2 with the Tele as basis and 1 with the Les Paul as basis, and I've tried to sound the same with both guitars. So let's dive into the rig manager. Here we go, and this is the first one. This is called Tight Clean, so it's a clean sound. Typical reggae, groovy, thin, clean guitar tone. So that's the one. And profile is Marshall, my Marshall Super Lead. Very less gain, typical setting, bass a little bit turned up, middle turned up, presence and treble turned down, and a little bit of spring reverb. And now think about the string breaks. I will change to the Les Paul, as I'm doing right now. And this is how it sounds like, the same stuff with the Les Paul. Okay, so this is a little bit fatter, and humbucker pickups, Les Paul, all the stuff. Now I have the option. So my thoughts were, or my workflow is, having an EQ at the first position, module A at front, so that imitates the character of the Tele. That means a little bit less output and some lower mid frequencies turned down, and some higher frequencies should be raised. So we have three options when using an EQ. Here we are. We have the graphic EQ, the studio EQ, and the metal EQ. I started with the graphic EQ, and this is the setting, and this is how it sounds like. Again, the tele So it's not the same, but it's getting close, and it will definitely save the gig. And here are the settings. So the lower frequencies for the Les Paul sound are raised 63 minus 5 dB, then 125 minus 17, 250, 500 are turned down, especially 500 and 1K. Then a little bit boosted is 4K and 8K. I didn't turn down the volume. I could have turned down the volume for overdrive sounds. That's fine. But I thought with a clean sound, that's not necessary here, because I have all these frequencies turned down. So there is a little bit less output on the clean tone. Okay, so next one is a typical tele sound called Bright Crunch, a little bit more overdrive, and this is how it sounds like. Now, Les Paul. Okay, this is definitely more overdrive, and to imitate the tele sound, I have used the metal EQ, and this is how it sounds like. And here we have this is the difference to the graphic EQ. The graphic EQ has different frequencies that you can raise or turn down. And here we have one mid frequency to turn down or boost. And we have the low, we have the high frequency, and a low cut and a high cut. So I have turned down a little bit of the volume, so to simulate this lower output volume from the tele, which turns out to have then little or less gain from the amp, which you could hear when I kicked in, played the Les Paul, and it had a little bit more gain then. So turning the gain down is this volume turning down here, and then I have turned down the mid frequency at about 600 Hertz with 9 dB, then the lower frequencies a little bit turned down and the high frequencies raised up. So here's it again. Tele. Oops. Okay, so this is the second one. Then we have the one called Fat Rock, and you might guess it. It starts with the Les Paul. And this is the sound. Oh no, with the humbucker. Okay, tally. Without EQ. And for that one, I have taken the graphic EQ again. There is a preset which is called single coil to humbucker. I started with that one and modified it a little bit, and this is how it sounds like then. Again, the Les Paul. So this is one EQ is for the tally, but I thought about the tally has a bridge pickup which has quite a lot output for a tally single coil pickup and rocks really great. So what about having a lower output guitar like this one I have here? Wait a minute, I will show you. The great Dano with the lipstick pickups. So
The classic, wonderful.
yeah, and this is how it sounds like without the EQ with the Dano. Very thin. And we're going back to the rig manager. So here we are. And I've prepared the tally setting and another EQ, the metal EQ, which boosts the 500 hertz a little bit and a little bit the lower frequencies. And here are both EQs with the Dan Electro. So, Tom, what do you think?
Pretty impressive from what I can hear on this side of our line, because we have Zoom in between us, and you guys out there will get the direct recordings from Thomas's system that will be then put to the video. By the way, that's always the case. So I have to abstract a little bit here, and I was pretty amazed how the Dano set in terms of drive and tone compared to the other guys. But I think this is due to the Zoom signal here. And what you did then to the Dano, also that's what came over here was there was a little bit of nose in the Dano, I think, compared to what you did with the other two guitars, the Tele and the Les
Yeah.
Paul. So I don't know if that was on purpose or if that's a thing that I don't know comes with a Dano that's difficult to tame.
You know, guitars are living people, and they all have their characters. And I don't want to cut these characters, and they inspire for these characters inspire for your playing. So I didn't want to go that far that you really cut out this frequency. Then maybe we can use the studio EQ to cut out these nose, excuse me, the mid nose or something like that. So I just wanted to keep it simple.
Okay, cool.
So we are guitar players. We don't want to sit down and do mathematics stuff like that. I just want to have one EQ, maybe then two for the lipstick pickups, but just to have one that fits and that I can save as a preset. So my personal Tele to Les Paul or Les Paul to Tele preset, and then place it at module A, and if I break a string, I can kick it in. Don't have to change anything of the amp sounds or the profile or anything, just kick that one in and the show is saved. And it feels good. It sounds a little bit different. Okay, so this is the practical side of that.
Yeah, but you're right. That's basically then not the point, because I realized that I do basically the same, because I have, I think, 4 various models of guitars there. There's the Ibanez here, the Gem still, and then I have Dan Electros, and I have a Strat, and then I have this Hamer standard with these double pickups. They are P90 and P rails, the Zimmer Duncan, which are pretty hot. And then I have the Luca and the Tillman, and I have this for each of them. I have 5 performances.
Yeah.
Which are the basic things I need for the stuff I do for playing live. And so I have, depending on which guitar I have basically the same situation where I'm able to work. So somehow there's the screwdriver and somehow there's the hammer I need, and stuff like that, with a different character in a way, indeed. But you know, the way they clean up and the basic behavior is tamed and adjusted, that it works to the stuff, you know, backing tracks or the band and things like this. And that's a very good thing, because when you're pretty flexible, even if you have no guitar and you need to rent one, because usually you have something that's similar, and then you will be okay for sure. And that's a pretty good thing. With the traditional rigs, that might be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about those people like me who prepare for each song one performance. And then let's say you have 15 songs. So you have 15 performances, and then you play them with different guitars. Let's say performance 1 with the Tele, you break the string, and then you don't need 15 new performances, which are considered for using the different guitar. Oh, nice. And so that's what I thought about, having just one safety module in all my 15 performances, and don't need to do 15 new or something like that. So it's fine when you have just one performance for live and a flexible setup. But if you have turn it to each song having one performance, to have the delays in time and all that stuff, different effects for these, and then different rigs for verse, for intro, and all that. So it would be easier to have just one module, one tool that needs to kick in there.
Yeah, that's true. Although I have, organized myself now with a player because I use the chocolate switch. So I limited this to 4
Yeah.
per per song max, and there's an acoustic thing, a dry thing, slightly wet, and then the ultra solo stuff, plus morphing and the gain staging and stuff like that. But fine tuned to the various pickup types of the various guitars. So I'll be good. And these are changing all the time because so there are bad hair days. Well, not with me, but there are bad telly days or bad hamburger days, and then you fiddle around with it. So, but basically, you're always good to go, and that's very important. Yeah. All right. Cool.
So my tip is these rigs are available on the Rig Exchange, and take these as a starting point. Then take your guitars, measure, try, listen, adjust, and then store these settings, these EQ settings, to the presets, so you can call up these into all the rigs that you need. So this is one thing that you can do, and which might helps you to save the gig.
Yes, indeed. All right. And one final thing. Now with the fixed effects, you can make sure that you always have one slot free for this guitar type changing special EQ thing.
The emergency slot.
Yeah, right. So that's not pretty easy to make it happen pretty easily. Yeah. All right. Cool. So definitely, again, try this at home. Check out the rigs and feel free to change them, and let us know what you would like to hear, and see you soon. Thank you, Thomas. Bye-bye.
Bye.